Thanks for joining us to celebrate JA's Central Ohio Business Hall of Fame.
Traditionally, junior achievement programs have relied on volunteers to go into the classroom and work with our students from kindergarten through 12th grade to teach them sophisticated skills around work readiness skills, financial literacy, and entrepreneurism. With the issues related to COVID, it gave junior achievement the opportunity to look at how we might work with students differently, both in their classroom, virtually at their home, or virtually in their classroom. So our volunteers and our business partners and our education partners have allowed us to come together and partner with them to provide delivery models where the students and their volunteers can both work together, whether they're in person in their school or whether they're at home or whether it's virtually within their classroom. We love that we're no longer constrained by space or distance. And at Junior Achievement, our partners are working together so that we can meet students where they are and help them achieve success in their life and their careers. So you can go to our website, jacols.org, and click Get Involved if you'd like to participate as a volunteer or get your classroom involved. To ensure our students' future success, please text 614-JA to 50155. We appreciate your support. Thank you for helping our students and Central Ohio achieve more.
I think before, I didn't really have a concept of how money works and what I could do with it. And then I was taught about saving, how to spend more responsibly, and I try to apply that more to my life, although I'm not best at it usually. It's more I'm more conscious about how I spend my money. Before I would get money and then it would burn all in my pocket, it'd be gone the next day. But now it's it kind of stings more when it's gone, and I try to keep it there more longer. And I have more concrete goals about what I want to do with my money. A lot of kids, they don't really learn about money, finances, after school until it's way later in their life, or they're scrambling to get that later. And I think because I got this, or I felt a little bit more ahead than some of the people that didn't. Please join us in congratulating our Volunteer of the Year, JPMorgan Chase.
I like to think that the idea behind Junior Achievement is to give kids the opportunity to really expand their horizons outside of even just the basic classes. The idea that they can get tactile involvement in learning about business, learning about finances, learning from people who are actually out in the world who have those experiences. Everybody's so excited. They all want to be a part of it. It's new. Everybody's interested in money. What do you buy with your money? Do you get money? How do you get money? Things like that. How do you keep track of it? And they're just so engaged. They want to understand it. To me, it's really important to give people a foundation, something that they are going to be able to look back at and say, I'm preparing myself as best as I possibly can. That's one of the reasons that I was so excited to go do this, because the younger that they are, the earlier that we can get them into saving and things like that, the better for everybody, and they can understand it.
We had a goal in the 2019 to 2020 school year of increasing our volunteers by 10%, so from 100 to 110, and we ended up with over 170 volunteers, so fantastic year. So we did a curriculum called JAR City for third graders, and it was all about how money works. Sounds way too broad, but what a check is, what cash is, and how it's different from a debit card and a credit card, and then how the businesses in that community use those things. I keep coming back to how excited the kids were. They had such a fun time, so much so that at the end of the day they asked us, can you come back tomorrow? I think maybe some hope for the future, just for how excited these kids are to learn and be a part of our global economy. And then also, it's just a rewarding feeling to see how excited these kids are getting about learning these things that are really important for them.
Junior Achievement does such a nice job of packaging each classroom's material in a very easy way to prepare. They've got all the necessary things, whether it's posters and little cars or trinkets for the kids in the classroom. And I know that we've had fun playing with some of that stuff as we've done that. And so it's just a great experience. It really is an awesome thing to do. What did you do with the car?
Well, you moved it around the map.
Yeah, and what were some of the places on the map that it went to?
The grocery store, the school.
Yeah, that's right. We got to learn about all the different parts of the community. Regardless of whether it's through the company or on your own, it is such an awesome experience, and you can't walk away without feeling great coming out of the classroom, just having a great time with the kids and watching them learn about really important things that you don't often get in school or at home as it relates to money and borrowing and interest rates and all of those things that as adults we have to learn sometimes the hard way. How much better is it to learn before we get into those situations?
I liked when we made our own restaurants.
Yeah. What was your restaurant it was a chance to be an entrepreneur, right? And you got to build a restaurant. What was your restaurant? What were you selling? What was the name?
The Leaning Tower of Pizza.
The Leaning Tower of Pizza. Yeah.
Please join us in congratulating our Educator of the Year, Taraja Shephard-Allen.
I still am in shock and in disbelief because the things that I do and the way that I interact with students and staff and community, it just feels like something that everyone should be doing. It just feels natural. And so I'm still not sure how I went above and beyond and how I stand out from others, just because these are things that I just normally would do. I love working in Columbus City Schools. I love being a school counselor. I'm a product of Columbus City Schools. I graduated from Lyndon McKinley High School. I just remember having those opportunities to have teachers and counselors step in and show me things that I would have never known. I love when we have junior achievement come in and we have business leaders who show careers and teach soft skills to our students that they wouldn't necessarily know. To have that experience brought to, an elementary building that I had once worked in, where they came and they participated in JA BizTown, and they got to take on roles of like actual citizens in a town, and they were the mayor, and they were having opportunities to run the business and run the bank and count money, and then create a newspaper and have a town hall at the end. The students were so proud of all the work that they put in, and I'm sure they left with a greater appreciation for what their parents do. I've always thought that was the most fantastic real-world application experience that students could get, especially at such a young age. I just want them to have an opportunity to see different career pathways, to get to experience it, not to rule themselves out from anything, not to say, well, people from my neighborhood don't have jobs like this, or people who look like me can't learn these kinds of things, or I'm not really good at math, so there's no way that I could take on a job that the primary function was dealing with numbers, or I'm not really good at any of my classes, so I don't think that I can go to college. And so I'm hoping that by seeing and hearing the different stories of the volunteers that come in and that work with the students, that help them take a concept and turn it into a business proposal at the end of the workshops, I hope that they can see that, maybe there are some new avenues, some new pathways, some new careers, and some different educational opportunities that I didn't think would be for me, but they are for me. And even if you fumble and make mistakes, but then you figure out, wait a minute, those mistakes weren't that big and it's not that hard to overcome, and if I just change X or Y, I now have a better outcome. And then that also leads you to try more things. It's about how can you become the best version of yourself? How can you achieve more? How can you get a little bit closer to your dreams? How can you expand your goals? How can you see beyond your community? How can you see beyond what things you think you can do? How can you really strive to just achieve more in your daily life? I would just like to thank Junior Achievement for the honor of this. So I just want to share this honor with all of the different staff and community members who helped participate to make it happen. And I would like to also thank Stephanie Patton for nominating me. I'm still like, no way.
At first, I was kind of nervous because building a business is really hard. But then it actually got really easy because Junior Achievement broke it up into little steps. It was actually learning how to make a business, working with the students and my friends, and working with the teachers. I opened my own business made by Mila, which means Mila Adair Design and Enterprise. So this is a little alien octopus, and I have different colors of these, and I have different types of these guys. So these were my first ever selling product. I like doing things that are creative. I like making things and selling them. Think about you and think about the people who are gonna be happy when you buy your products. I didn't know that I was gonna start this. I didn't know, I was just like, this is gonna be really good.
This year, we'd like to welcome Sandy Doyle-Ahern and Dr. David Harrison as our newest Hall of Fame laureates. Sandy and David have made a remarkable contribution both to their organizations and to the community at large. Thank you both for your outstanding commitment to our community.
Sandy, welcome to the Central Ohio Business Hall of Fame. Your leadership to make Columbus and Central Ohio an equitable place for all of its citizens is simply inspiring. As the CEO of EMH&T, you are setting the pace for the next generation of leadership in this community. We are so fortunate to have you. Congratulations and welcome to the Laureates Hall of Fame.
I thought I was going to be a veterinarian. I always loved nature, I loved biology, I loved being outside, I loved animals, and I actually did some work as a high school student with some equestrian veterinary programs, things like that. I was not the top student. I was not a bad student. I worked really hard. I pushed myself actually in science because I think for me, in high school in particular, I tried to take the hardest science classes I could. Not because I thought I could get A's in it, but because I liked it. It was interesting to me. And by doing that, it led me into the path of going into a major in college that I really enjoyed. But I always felt kind of rewarded for the effort. And that is literally ultimately what led me to saying I love school enough to go on to grad school. And that is what propelled me in the direction that I ended up going. Well, my role is president of EMH&T, so we're an engineering firm that does civil work, survey work, environmental, archaeology, land planning work. So we get to work with a lot of different projects across the community. Some of them are big projects, things like arenas. We're working on the Crew Stadium right now. It might be healthcare projects, smaller projects that people don't even know about. And I love it because the company is amazing. The people that I get to work with are incredible. I think one of the ways that I try to work with people to achieve more is really to help them try to look inward at who they are and what they bring to the table. I'm a really big believer in best fit, putting people in the role that they're really good at. And it doesn't mean they shouldn't grow and learn and expand their horizons in areas maybe they're not as good at. But I think if you truly want to achieve more, you need to keep your curious learner that you started with when you were a toddler and never let it go, because the world around us is moving so fast that if you want to achieve, you've got to keep on top of what those learning opportunities are. So what I try to do is encourage people to find that within themselves. I'm not from Central Ohio originally and never ever thought I'd stay, and now I would never leave because I love it. But I also know that community opportunity is not equally accessible to everybody, and that bothers me. So it is a purposeful driven sort of feeling for me at this point in my life, and I'm going to do what I can to be part of changing that trajectory, particularly for people who don't have access to a lot of the things that I have access to. Well, I think junior achievement sets up a framework for them to understand the skill sets and things that are out there in the business world that otherwise they might not have access to. What I like about that a lot is so many kids just don't know what they don't know. I didn't know how many career options were out there when I was a kid. I had no idea. I never had access to anything like a junior achievement. I think I fell into a path that allowed me to take advantage of some skills that I wouldn't necessarily have known I had. But I think with access to junior achievement, what it's giving the kids is a sense of potential direction for them and an understanding, a jargon, a lingo in a world that maybe helps them think through decision making as they determine their own career paths down the road.
Hi, Mom. I just want to say congratulations. I'm so proud of you. You have inspired me throughout all of my entire life. You have helped me through everything. And I am so proud of the leader you become and the amount of people that you've inspired in your life. And I'm so happy for you, and I love you.
Congratulations, Mom. I'm so incredibly proud of the work that you have been doing and have done in the past and will do in the future. I have loved seeing you grow, especially this past year, because of all of the changes that have occurred, not just in the workspace, but also with family and how you've grown and taught me to grow from them. And I'm extremely proud to call you my mother and also a friend. I love you. Good job.
Hi, Sandy.
Hi, Sandy.
We're very proud to be able to recognize your Junior Achievement Award, and we just thought we'd do a little bit of your younger background as an introduction to what you've become over the years. When you were very small, about 2 or 3 years old, and Mom would often try to dress you up, and maybe we'd both try to help you with some drawings or craft work, and you would always say, "I do it myself," and you tend to push it away. So looking back over all these years, I kind of feel now that what you were saying at that time has lasted through your lifetime, because obviously you still do it yourself. So we're very proud, Mom and I, to be able to say something about your younger years and to wish you all the very best when you get your award from Junior Achievement. Congratulations, and we love you.
I just want to say that throughout the years too, her leadership skills, her abundant energy, and her big heart has also been a great factor in what she is today. Congratulations, Sandy. We love you.
Sandy, I want to congratulate you on your recognition by Junior Achievement in 2020 as an honoree for the work that you and EMH&T have done to help kids to be able to connect their education with their futures. I know that is something that is very important to you. You do that type of work in many different capacities within the Central Ohio community, but I know that the young kids that are in school are of particular interest to you because they are our future. And I know that that is very important to you, particularly for young girls, to be able to see not only how education and work eventually come together, but also for them to be able to see a role model. And you are certainly a role model within our family, within the community, and at work. And I am so very proud of you, and congratulations on this recognition.
David, with your leadership, Columbus State Community College has grown into a robust and affordable center for learning, as well as an effective partner for our region's developing workforce. Columbus State plays an important role in our community, and for that, we have your hard work to thank. I'm so very glad to share this honor with you. David, welcome to the Central Ohio Business Hall of Fame.
The truth is, I had no idea what I wanted to be when I was growing up. I was born on a farm in Kentucky. My family were farmers, both sides of my family, both my grandfathers. I was the first in my family to go to college. It was never a question in my mom's mind whether or not I was going to go to college. I had a early job in engineering as a technician. My wife was a special education teacher in the city of Pittsburgh, And the work she was doing seemed a lot more rewarding than the work that I was doing. My head and my hands were all in. My heart wasn't always in it. In fact, my heart was being pulled into things we were doing at the church or in the community and those kinds of things. So we had a lot of conversations about what might our next step be. And I've been incredibly blessed to have her as certainly my best friend, my partner in every way, but my best advisor. She's my first focus group for whatever I'm trying to work through. And we've grown together over these 30 years, and neither of us knew what this journey was going to be. I had a conversation with my boss at the time and said, don't get me wrong, love what I'm doing, but I'm a young man, I don't really have a career path here. And he said, go get your PhD and work to become a college president, because we need young people who want to do that. As I started my professional career, just assumed I had to put my head down and gut it out and get it done. And that's what I did, like a lot of people do. And it wasn't until a lot later that I realized that asking for help was not a sign of weakness, but it was actually a sign of strength. And it's how you learn, and it's how you grow, and it's how you build relationships, and people are eager to help. In a lot of ways, Junior Achievement, Columbus State are in the same business. We are helping students of all ages advance their careers, and a big part of that is understanding what's possible and the ability to really meet students where they are and give them a path to do things that maybe they never thought was possible is incredibly rewarding, and we see that happen every day at Columbus State, and I know that's a big part of Junior Achievement's work. I love the Achieve More tagline for Junior Achievement because I do think we need to help young people think big. We need to try to build that into every child that we interface with. I'm incredibly blessed to be part of an organization like Columbus State. Community colleges are designed to address the needs of their community, and Columbus State is purpose-built for the times we're in right now, and the ability to help our community respond and hopefully come out of this stronger than before. Tracy and Julie and Mark and Sam, our whole family, they've got a true north of helping people. And they do understand that at the end of the day, that's what community colleges do.
There's a lot to be proud of when talking about Dave Harrison. But when I think about what I'm most proud of, it's got to be his ability to care for everyone who comes into his life. This is something that he's passed down to all three of the Harrison kids. Ideals such as these have guided us through our lives, and it is all thanks to him. His ability to feel compassion for people has and will continue to allow him to excel in all aspects of his life. Congrats, Dad.
One of the things that inspires me about my dad and his ability to lead a community is how he always leads with humility, and it always recognizes that there are other people out there that know more about certain topics than him, and his ability to be a great listener and course correct when needed and admit his faults when needed really helps him to lift up the entire community and recognize all voices involved in a leadership position.
I want to start by congratulating my husband on being recognized with the Junior Achievement Hall of Fame Award. It's well deserved. Nobody works harder or cares more about our community than you, so congratulations, honey. I have been asked to talk about why I am proud of my husband, and the list is really long, as you might imagine. But to share with you, we just celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary yesterday, and I can tell you, after 30 plus years of being with my husband, I can tell you that he is truly the same as he was then, which was someone guided by principle, a strong character, someone who really set out to change the world for the better, and I think he's doing it. That's one of the many things I'm proud of obviously proud of the man he is, the father he is, the husband he is, and the son he is. You are the best, honey. Congratulations on this award. Let's celebrate.
I interned here starting last year, and it was my first time being in this building, and I loved it here. The biggest thing that I learned was patience, and learning that you need to just take it slow, and you need to just try to put yourself in other people's place. I think it's important for these kids to come in here and feel like they're the boss and they're running this show. And so I think that's really valuable and very important for these kids. And these kids need to feel like they have something that they can control with themselves and they can do it. We kind of take a step back, but we're also watching. Like, it's not our job to be the Donato's Cafe CEO. It's not our jobs, it's their jobs because they came here to do it. Really satisfying to see them break out of their shell and like starting to communicate like, hey, can you do this for me? I'm gonna go shopping, can you please watch this for me? And then to be like, no, I can do it. Look what I did, I finished it. It's so satisfying to see them progress throughout the day, as in being a little shy, scared kids and seeing them own up to what they're supposed to do. And I think that's my favorite part of it, just seeing them grow. That's the mission of Junior Achievement, not just teaching kids about finance, but teaching kids that they have the ability. If they just put their mind to it, they can do it. Working with this, I realized I really like working with the younger kids. I really like doing this, and so maybe becoming an elementary teacher. I feel like that can encompass all of my interests into one, teaching and helping out kids. And I feel like I could teach kids the way I teach them here. And yeah, and that's the way that this internship has changed how I think about what I want to do in the future.
Hello, my name is John Ness, and I have the absolute pleasure of serving as the board chair for Junior Achievement of Central Ohio. On behalf of the board, I want to offer my congratulations to all of our honorees, and especially 2020 laureates, Sandy and David. You two are great leaders in our community, and we are better because of your impact on Columbus. And to all our guests, thank you for joining us for today's Hall of Fame celebration. The work JA does is vital in our community, perhaps now more than ever. JA programs help our students dream big, think critically, and navigate the world. It's time for leaders in our community at every level to inspire and engage our youth, which is really tomorrow's workforce. I'd like to invite you to join us in JA's worthy mission. Our greatest need are volunteers and your financial support. Would you consider a donation of your time and your resources so together we can make an impact on our students and our region and help our children achieve more?
Thank you
for helping students like me achieve more.